What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome back to the Dapper Snapper Gaming channel, and welcome back to Week 3 of the SPL D League. This week we take on DashingSceptile, the coach of the Seattle Sigalith, and this is a rematch that has been a long time coming. We haven't faced Dashing in a very long time, and I'm excited to get back into it. Before we jump into it, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already, share the video with your friends, and of course click the bell so you're notified when new videos are uploaded. Here are the 6 that I'm going to be bringing this week, but of course if you would like some more details on why I'm bringing what I'm bringing, make sure to check the description down below. There will be a team building doc that gives you all of that information. And before we jump into it, I want to give a special shout out to A12, D-Ray, Viz, Sky Retro Alpha, and Jakib for help with mocks and prep, and of course to Ruppy for the model used in the thumbnail. So without any further ado, let's jump right in. Here we go, week 3 of SPL D League, and we see pretty much what we were expecting. No Ments, no Arboliva shenanigans, no Deoxys Defense, which is interesting. That thing was kind of a problem. We see Terra fighting on the Lycanroc Dusk, which I actually did face. I actually did face one of those against A12 in mocks, which is cool. But besides that, it's pretty much what we're kind of expecting. I'm gonna lead with Mr. Noodle, no matter what. We are gonna try to see if it is like a Scarfed Sneasler, because that's very likely. It could also be a lead Lycanroc, but I imagine that that's kind of his end game sweeping kind of mode. And then we could also see like Treads trying to set up rocks. Regardless, I think that this is a fine lead. And so that's where we're going to start. Again, 3rd week in a row of not bringing Psyspam on the Psyspam team. We came very close this time, I will say, because the dark type being Chi-Yu rather than like Meowscarada and Greninja, it certainly was a little bit more tempting, but it still ended up not being the plan. We see Lycanroc actually. So this could be rocks, this could be like Endeavor stuff, this could be yeah, it could be a few different things. He is Terra fighting, so I find it difficult to believe that he would Terra turn 1. But I am just going to taunt to prevent possible stealth rocks on this, so that could definitely be a thing. He may also just click an attacking move. That is also entirely possible. So I want to see what he wants to do. If he does hit me, he's going to get red carded out. He does crunch. We do live that, and he's going to get red carded out. Go into something else. So yeah, now you can't just I'm sure he had that calced for crunch into a Celorock, but that's not gonna happen. And we actually see Sneasler come in. That's actually fine if he is not if he's not scarfed. If he is scarfed, then we're gonna find out right now. But I'm gonna click Thunder Wave no matter what, and he can do basically anything, but we're gonna be learning things regardless. So we're gonna see what happens. If he goes back into Lycanroc, that gets paralyzed, which is great. If he stays in and is slower than me, then that's also great. The only thing that really, well, he has a couple of things that can take this. Rotom Wash could be an option. Could go into Treads as well. Both of those are options, but I think the T-Wave right now is probably my best option. So yeah, he does hard switch out, so may not be scarfed, might be unburdened and trying to save that for later. Goes into, this is probably Treads. Yeah, it is Treads. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Possibly expecting me to click rocks there, or a psychic move. Either way makes sense. So we could do one of a few things. We could save this and get up rocks later. That's one option. Another option is, well, we could rocks here actually, and then let this go down and see. Wow, it's tricky. It's very tricky because this could go one of a few different ways. So I'm gonna go Stealth Rock here. I'm going to see what he wants to do. Yes, I'm going to Stealth Rock in your face, but I also know it's because Rapid Spin is not going to be enough to KO me at this point. Yeah, he does just go straight for the EQ and takes... I lived. That's actually not what we want. We actually wanted to go down to that. So that's a little unfortunate. Yeah, because now he KOs me with spin. Not what we wanted there. That's really unfortunate. I was really hoping that the EQ would take me out there, because this puts me in a weird spot. This puts me in a really weird spot. Dang. Deoxys living stuff that it's not supposed to live. Not great, because this does kind of mess up my strat for later. I guess I go hard Ting Lu. That's rough. I was really hoping I went down there so that I could just go straight into Ogre and just be ready. But that did not work out. That's really actually quite unfortunate, because yeah, you just spin here for free, and yeah, spin was free, but I would have been in a much better position if he had KO'd me with the EQ, and then I could go into I could have gone into something else. So that's pretty unfortunate. Unfortunately, that's not what we want to see. So I mean, what do? You go into Rotom here every time, I think. So I'm wondering if Spikes is the play, or if it's just getting Ruination damage off on it, because that thing is a huge threat. So I think I'm going to click Ruination here, expecting the Rotom to come in. I don't think you ever stay in. It could also be Clefable, but I imagine it's Rotom. Yeah, it is Rotom. I was expecting like max defense Will-O-Wisp type of stuff on this, so Ruination taking half its HP is fantastic by me. We learn it's lefties, yeah, so he's definitely a more bulky variant, which totally makes sense in this matchup. That is by far what I expected. So yeah, this is kind of a tough position here, because I really don't want to be burned on this, but also the majority of my team is physical, so that's not the best. I can go straight into Noodle and sack it though, and then I could go into Ogre afterwards, I suppose. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. It's good damage on Rotom though, so that's nice. I do like that, but it's probably a Will-O-Wisp coming out here. That seems super free. I don't know why you would click anything else. Or could just be super risky and click Hydro, but I don't think you really get anything out of that. Yeah, Will-O-Wisp makes the most sense. So yeah, we're gonna sack this to the Willow. Yeah, that whole sequence was thrown off by Deoxys living. Deoxys was not supposed to live. So very upsetting, very upsetting. So Deoxys just living stuff, and it's working out for my opponent actually. So Deoxys does go down now, which is fine. And we just go Ogre for free here. That's nice. We don't want to reveal the Mold Breaker on Hawlucha just yet. I don't know why my camera is so zoomed out. That's super strange. Yeah, I mean, you're not staying in here, and your whole team is weak to ground except Clefable. So I think I can just click a Stomping Tantrum just raw and go from there, because you're not going to stay in and take a Ivy Cudgel. There's no way you're going to stay in and take that, because you're definitely going to go down. Chiyu's going to take this, which it's not going to like it. But this was a really free prediction. So yeah, Stomping Tantrum into the Chiyu does a lot. Which is nice. But we go... Galgy's tough, because I don't want to take too much damage on Galgy, just because it is my answer to Sneasler. So I got to be careful with that. I'm going to go Azu, even though it's not the best switch in, unfortunately. But with Rotom being weakened, that certainly helps. We were expecting this thing to be Specs, and so we're going to find out what this is here, actually. So let's see what you do. Flamethrower does 103. Let's see. So your Flamethrower... So yeah, you're timid, like, not even max special attack. If you have any special attack at all. Yeah, you might be... Huh. if I'm looking at the, yeah, because that took way too little. Liquidation's super free here with Rotom weakened. So yeah, I'm gonna click liquidation. Okay, he's this defensive set again, which is super weird. I mean, that was super risky because if I had just Aqua Jetted, you were done. I mean, this is still going down, so that crit didn't matter. Even if I'm burned, that didn't matter. But yeah, that was super risky because if I had just jetted, then you went down and didn't gain anything out of that. So that's not. I'm not sure how I feel about that play, but Chi-Yu is gone, so that's good. That's a special Mon down, which is nice for Hawlucha. And with the Rotom weakened, that certainly helps out there as well. It is going to be this. I'm going hard Gougy. Like I'm not even thinking about it. I'm going hard Gougy. We still have Aqua Jet. It is choice banded, so that helps a little bit. The burn certainly is really bad. I'm not a huge fan of being burned on Azumarill, but I also brought a super physical team. So Will-O-Wisp is really good. It's a really good tech. Does U-turn, he's going to take some helmet damage, but being helmet does also mean that he is most likely going to be the poison touch variant, which is good to know. And that's the one that we expected, so that's honestly fine. It is going to be treads now, so I'm going to go back into this. I'm not even going to think about it. Should I? Probably. Lucha probably would have been fine to catch an earthquake, but I also don't want to catch some random other thing. Yeah, it's hard because I'm relying a lot on my defensive pieces that don't have any kind of recovery. And so that can be really tricky. It can be very, very tricky. So we're just going to have to see how much this does to see if he's like offensive or something like that. Yep, it is EQ. So that did about 100. Iron Treads. Earthquake. So that may be no attack investment, actually. Because, yeah, that's a pretty low roll. So he's probably bulky. Yeah, so I think I set a spike here. Yeah, I'm going to set a spike at this point. Because basically I'm trying to bait this thing in to spin some more. And if I can get this thing to spin, I think I'm in a good position. So yeah, he is going to withdraw because he's doing 0 damage to this. And yeah, Spike is good because he's switching a lot. He's switching a whole lot. So yeah, Spike is helpful. So yeah, we can set those up, which is good. We just have to make sure that we don't get burned on OGERPON. That's pretty much what we have to be careful of. But essentially, when OGERPON comes in, he's doing pretty good. I could go into this, but that seems unfortunately not the best answer. I could also go into this. Yeah, I am going to go into this because if he volt switches here, predicting my Azumarill to come back in or something on a predicted Will-O-Wisp, then we're doing fine because that brings treads back in. Yeah, he Will-O-Wisps this, which is okay. But yeah, Will-O-Wisp spam is really rough. And I've played Dashing before. He does do a lot with status. He really likes his status moves. And so here he is doing it once again. But yeah, the chip on this is not great because this is my Sneasler check, which is a little unfortunate to be having to rely on. But either way, I mean, this does bait in treads ultimately, and I could flip turn. That's probably my best play. Setting a T-Spike it's probably not the time to do that. Yeah, he does Volt Switch. That's not doing much. And then yeah, we get the slow flip turn off, which is actually pretty good. So I'm okay with this. He probably just goes hard treads, and I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. I mean, honestly, no matter what he goes into, OGERPON is pretty free. And so all we have to do is just make sure that we're careful with the Clefable, I guess. Yeah, the Clefable's really the only thing that's scary. Not boots on this, so good to know. And also not boosters. So yeah, flip turn does 2 damage. Weakness policy. Okay. Interesting. I still go OGERPON, I think. Or well, OGERPON's risky. OGERPON's risky. I mean, he's still doing 0 to me. Right? Like, he's still doing 0. Or I could go into this. And I could Swords Dance myself. I mean, he could have Ice Spinner, though. He might have Ice Spinner. Which would be really annoying. And Ice Spinner actually might be a huge problem. I don't know that I live a +2, although I don't know that he was invested, which makes sense. I think he was super bulky, and then yeah, I think he was super bulky. I'm gonna have to risk it because I don't think that he has any investment, just because of how little damage he did. I'm going to take a risk. If I lose this risk, then I think I'm done. I think the game's over. I don't know that I can... Let's see. No, it may not be over, but this may just be a little early for something like this. Yeah. I'm wondering if he rapid spins here, knowing that he lives. I'm gonna go for it. Yeah, I'm faster. So I gotta see if he rapid spins here to try to be a little bit faster since he knows he lives. He does. Okay. That's what we needed. And you can mirror herb. I can also mirror herb. Yep. I can also mirror herb. So that's exactly why we did this. That is exactly why we did this. And now we Stomping Tantrum. So that's the plan. That was the plan the whole time. He got a little greedy, but that was always going to be... That was always the plan here, because I figured that he felt like this was his chance to set up. But I don't know that he lives one at +2, because +1 was already doing like 50%. So +2, or at neutral, this was doing like 50. So I've got some wiggle room in case he has some bulk. So that is very helpful. But yeah, the Swords Dance, I had to go for that there. And yeah, so we get the stomping off, please. Yes, it does KO. Holy cow. So it really comes down to the Clefable. It comes down to the Clefable set. The game is definitely not over, because it really comes down to Clef. If Clefable is not Magic Guard, which we're going to find out when he switches in probably, but he's most likely unaware, which would pretty much negate this. Although the fact that he's thinking about it so much is interesting. Yeah, he goes into this. He does not take rocks. And I don't know that he can really KO me with anything. I think I just click Cudgel regardless, and we find out. I'm going to click Cudgel, and we're going to find out. We see what happens. Yeah, he's definitely... Oh, he has Flamethrower. Okay. Yeah, he definitely is unaware. So that's taking that damage really well. So, all right. Well, we found out, which is still fine. I mean, we were able to get rid of Treads, which was supposed to be the sweeper, and that actually was very close to doing a lot of damage. I think the question is, do I need a bunch of damage on this? And the answer might be yes, because that'll set up Lucha in the end game. Rotom's already a little weakened. So I think that I just want to hit this again. Get it weakened for Lucha. Yeah, I need a bunch of damage on this. So yeah, so he's Boots to try to fake the Magic Guard. And, but yeah, that definitely shows that you're unaware, because otherwise you would have taken like 66%. He predicts me to switch out. He predicts me to switch and goes into Rotom. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, he overpredicted. He overpredicted. That's gone. Oh, no. Oh, no. We'll take it. We will take it. Yeah, he expected me to swap out into something else, I guess. I'm trying to think what he would expect me to go into. Goes into this. This is Terra Fighting, so that is good to know. I am faster. Am I in a Celerock range? Probably. I imagine. Lycanroc, Dusk. I'm definitely in a Celerock range. Absolutely 100% in a Celerock range. I'm in a weird spot because I can't really touch this as it is, so I'm gonna have to let something go down. With Rotom being gone, I think Ogre has kind of served its purpose. So I think that I'm okay to let this go down. Yeah, I'll just click this, let it go down. Celerock definitely KOs. Yeah, I was well within range. Are you Life Orb or what are you? Nope, no Life Orbs. He could be banded. He could very well be banded. It might be Lucha time. It might be Lucha time, actually. Because I can... Yeah. This may be too early. I might be getting greedy. This might be greedy, and we'll find out. But yeah, he's gonna learn right here that I am not Unburden. And we're gonna Terastallize. What do you have left? Sneasler, fine. Clefable, but we are Mold Breaker, so we get through Unaware. And we are gonna bulk up. He may just smack me, but I'm guessing that he's banded. Banded is what made the most sense when I was looking at this matchup. So if he's banded into a Celerock, then he's not going to be able to do a whole lot since he knows I'm Terra Ground. So he really has to switch. And so we know that Clefable is... we know that Clefable is going to be the magic, or is the Unaware. He stays in. Okay, so we're going to find out if he is choiced. And he may not be, which would be annoying. But my assumption is that he is. Okay, he goes for the Terra Fighting on this. Okay, I mean... Terra Fighting, I'm Terra Ground. I bulk up, he stayed in. I'm +1/+1. He goes for CC. It's a roll, but he probably KOs. Well, no, that's banded damage. No, I live. And I might live in a Celerock at this point. And I go for dual Wing Beat. Yeah, because I'm pretty defensive. Alright, cool. That's gone. Hawlucha coming through, man. Taking out the huge threat. I thought this was going to be Terra Dark, like banded for sure, because it does a ton of damage. But ended up not being that. So we'll take that. So we're +1/+1, and we could see Sneasler here, but it's most likely that we see Clefable. And so again, it's Unaware, but we don't really care on this set. I am pretty low, but also I don't, if he's super defensive, then I can, oh, no, he goes into this. He is faster and probably KOs me at this point. But we have Ting-Lu in the back. So I'm gonna click Roost. What do we do here? This thing is still a threat. This thing's still very much a threat. Very much a threat. But we do have Chople on Ting-Lu still. So Ting Lu might still be able to save this. I'm gonna roost. He does CC. That's definitely gonna KO. So yeah, I definitely did not want to go hard Ting Lu there. I just wanted to let this go down. And so I am Chopple on the Ting Lu. Specifically for this, how much am I doing with Stomping Tantrum? That's what matters. Let's see here if my thing would cooperate. If he's no bulk, I always KO. So I'm gonna go for it, and CC should not KO me through my Chopple. So that's what I'm gonna go into, and then I have, yeah, I'm gonna click Stomping here. Yep, he clicks CC again. We should live. We do. And so this is gone. This is gone for sure. Yeah, we had Chopple specifically for this as a backup strat. So this is gone. And then all that's left is Clefable. So I don't think I'm healthy enough to live a Moonblast, but I have Dragalge with Sludge Wave in the back. So I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. I'm going to stay in just so I don't take any extra damage. I'm going to click Heavy Slam. I'm sure I go down to a Moonblast here, but there's no reason to take any... Oh, no, I'm faster. Never mind. That'll take it. Okay, I thought I would be slower there, but that's fine. What great game. That went really well, actually. We'll take it. We had the Hawlucha was okay. It did okay, but ultimately I think the whole team clicked together the way we needed it to. I think that it was a bit of a misplay possibly for burning the Clefable or burning the Azumarill, just because I could have just Aqua Jetted there and KO'd it, and then he wouldn't have really gotten anything out of that. So that was a little confusing. But most of his sets really made a lot of sense and were really good into me. I think it was a little tougher of a matchup on his end, just because I had a lot of ground and he brought like 4 Mons weak to ground, plus the Mold Breaker made him weak to ground with Hawlucha. So all of that together kind of made it a little tough on him. But either way, huge GG's to DashingSceptile. It's great to be able to play you again. And yeah, so we're now 2-1. Really good stuff. We will be doing it again next week. I have no idea who I'm playing. I will find out a little bit later, but it's been good. We had a good one. We will see you all later. Stay safe out there. Stay healthy. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.